How do you go from a Jeep Wrangler to a Chevy Malibu? Wow. I ended up having to self-surrender my car, which, let me tell you, was the hardest thing ever. And that's how I ended up from a Jeep Wrangler to a Chevy. I kind of want to be more real and open with YouTube. What we're doing is we're talking about something that I kind of avoided for a while and didn't want to talk about because I wasn't proud of what happened, basically. And this is dealing with my car, my old car. So I'm gonna kind of start with my car journey. My first ever car I bought, it was a 2001 Mitsubishi Eclipse, if you know. Loved him so much. I bought him completely outright. I think it was $1,600 that I bought him for. Then, see, I got him in 2018. In 2020, I got my 2017 Jeep Patriot, which I did a video on. So if you want to see that, you can go ahead and go look at that video. I had that car, I think, again, 2 years. And that Jeep, the Patriot, I was making my only down payment on it was my Eclipse, and I think they gave me $500 for it, which is honestly impressive. I was making, I think it was 300 something monthly payments on the Patriot, and it was a good car. Loved it. There was nothing wrong with it. For the people that know me, everyone knows my dream car has always been a Jeep Wrangler. The beginning of 2022, my mom was looking at getting a different car because she had just gotten in an accident and she wasn't liking her car anymore. She had a Dodge Avenger. You're going and looking at cars and stuff. It was the same place that I had gotten the Patriot from, and they had told me that within it, like 2 years of having my Patriot, I qualified. I would then qualify for a Wrangler with my credit. Because my credit wasn't terrible going into getting the Patriot, so that definitely helped. If I fuck it up later on, we'll get to that, just saying. So I had to wait April or June. I think it was June. I think it was like right before my 23rd birthday of 2022 to even see if I actually did qualify or not. I just went home, kept making payments. I think it was like literally 2 months. And back in June, I decided to see if I actually qualified or not. And well, I did, but I didn't at the same time. We found it was a 2018 two-door Jeep Wrangler. I qualified, but I didn't make enough income, so I had to have a co-signer to be able to get the car. And that should have honestly been my first sign because I got into the Patriot by myself. The monthly payment wasn't terrible. I was making it. I think I was only late like one time. I never missed a payment, but I was late one time because I had switched locations and their pay schedule was a little bit different. So knowing that I did the Patriot by myself, I wish I would have just stayed in that car because getting a car on your own at that age is pretty impressive. Not a lot of people can do it, and it's not like I was in a crappy car. It was a car that I actually wanted. In all honesty, I wish I would have just stayed in my Eclipse. There's nothing wrong with that car, and I loved it, and it was paid off. With really wanting this car, they told me that the monthly payments would be... Should I admit it? I just got that in my eyebrow. The monthly payments were $618 a month. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you, there's many places I went wrong. One, once they told me that, I should have said no. Technically, I could have done it, and I did do it, but that was stupid. I spent way too much. Most of my paycheck would go towards my car. I'm not gonna do mascara. Had to have a co-signer. I had my mom co-sign. Luckily, she did it for me, but I really wish I hadn't done that. Not because I, hate the car. I loved that car. And this is why I feel like I should have talked about this, because I really left y'all hanging. I literally had a video, being like, oh, pros and cons of a Jeep Wrangler, and then I was like, oh, I got a new car, and I was like, how do you go from a Jeep Wrangler to a Chevy Malibu? Wow. Basically, I was making the payments, and I was doing just fine. I was working, I think I was making $12 an hour or something. I didn't miss payment. So I got the car in June of 2022. In August, this is terrible lighting now because of that. In August of 2022, I had found out that I was pregnant. So things got a lot harder with my pregnancy. I was sick all the time, and honestly, my baby was pretty big. So getting in and out of a Jeep Wrangler was, hard. I was still doing everything I could. I was working still. I actually ended up taking a job making $14 an hour December of that year. I had actually came down and I did a video on this. I had COVID. I had kidney infections. I was having to get blood transfusions because of my low iron. And basically, I was not going to be able to keep up with these monthly payments. I mean, they're a lot, especially when you're taking on a pregnancy. I ended up having to self-surrender my car, which, let me tell you, was the hardest thing ever. But one thing I do say, if while I was there, I would have realized they put a $10,000 warranty on my car for only a year. Don't let them do that, because the car, I would have paid what it was valued for and things wouldn't have gotten as bad as they did. But basically, the bank quickly threw my mom in collections, which really sucked. And I don't know how it ended up being my mom and not me, but it was. Thank God for my mom and brother, because they were able to make a deal and pay off the bank, so that way my mom's not going through collections and stuff, because at the time I just didn't have it. I was barely working. There was no way I was going to be able to help, which it hurt. It sucked because this was all my choice. Luckily we're able to get out of it. Didn't have to deal with all that. Skip past a few months. In March of 2023, my lovely dad was able to help me get another car, because with my husband's work schedule, he didn't have like a solid work schedule at the time, so you didn't know when you were going to be able to use a car. So it really helps out having my car, and that's how I ended up from a Jeep Wrangler to a Chevy Malibu, because one, we picked it out pretty quick. I wish we would have taken our time a little bit more, but we didn't. It is what it is. I still have a car that works. Moral of the story, be careful when you're going to dealerships. They really just want your money. The person that sold me the car is fired now, because the owner of the dealership was not happy with how he did business, because he had told me if things had gotten rough that he would help me, and he basically wasn't doing anything to help me. We all had to figure it out for ourselves. My mother-in-law helped, my mom and brother obviously helped, and luckily, I would say because of everybody, that situation went a lot easier than it could have. So please be careful. That's all for this video. I want to do more of these because I don't know. I just want to. I don't know. But if you do like them, give it a thumbs up. That means that I should be posting them. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.